Man, you too, Zam. It's your boy Zal, and I'm back with another banger video. In this video, we got David Benavidez versus David Morrell Jr. being finalized for Tank Davis's undercard. Oh Lord. Um, my first impressions about hearing this news is and this is a boxing a real boxing fan. This is a treat to real boxing fans. This fight is about as good as this is like a young Bevo fighting a young Better B, and these guys fight in that same weight class. If Bivol and Better B fought each other young, that's what this fight would be like. Morrell versus Benavidez. So let's get it.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we got great news, a great announcement for a great fight that's set to take place as the co-main event on December 14th to Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Rose Jr. They had to bolster that card, and it's going to take place in D.C. at the Capital One Arena December 14th. And now the co-main event always planned to feature the former two-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, David Benavidez, who is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. He's 27 years of age, 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. Now, initially, it was stated that he was going to face off against another opponent, okay? And now they have changed the opponent to get this. The undefeated Cuban star title contender, David Morrell Jr. Now, this is clear that David Morrell Jr. is 11 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age. He's a southpaw, 6'2", about 6'1", 6'2", with a 79-inch arm reach, 78.5-inch arm reach. Now, his last performance was against Ravajai Kalaji. That was August 3rd, and it was a lackluster performance that went the distance, 12-round this decision. And it was his first debut at 175-pound light heavyweight division, and it was underperforming to say the least. That's an understatement. But nonetheless, he got the victory. But he looked very, very uncommon, and many people attest that to the fact that he finally moved up in weight, and he actually fought a guy his size, right? And people are saying, see, he was weight bullying for so long, fighting smaller guys. Now that he actually fought a guy his size, he didn't look good. And the same goes for David Benavidez, who's 29 wins. Excuse me, I keep saying 28 wins. I don't know why. He's 29 wins, no loss, no draw, with 24 wins by way of knockout. But he, too, made his debut at light heavyweight 175 against the former world champion, Oleksandr Gavdik. And that, too, was a struggle for David Benavidez.
Right. These guys are both pressure fighters. They both apply a lot of pressure, throw a lot of punches, high volume, and they both came up from 168 to 175 and struggled and went to decision against their guys. So I can only assume a fight between these guys going to end in knockout because they're not gonna try to survive. They're gonna try to win, and it's gonna be entertaining, bro.
From what we're typically accustomed to seeing from him, he went 12-round decision. But again, he moved up to 175 for the first time in his career, and many people attested to the same thing. He's actually fighting a guy his size. So, nonetheless, they've been on the collision course since they both was at 168 to face off against one another, but both was trying to, well, more importantly, David Benavidez was trying to face off against Canelo Alvarez, but we know that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. So now David Benavidez He beat Oliseno Gavde, became the mandatory for the WBC. Well, he was the mandatory for the WBC at 168, and that meant nothing. But he is the mandatory for the WBC for the undisputed, undefeated light heavyweight showdown that's going to take place October 12th between Dimitri Bivol and Artur Benavidez.
Right. I mentioned that fight earlier and how important it is because David is most likely going to fight those guys after that undisputed match and have an opportunity to undisputed himself. He's been deserving an opportunity, undisputed showdown. But if he loses to Morrell, that'll stop his plans, so that'll make him fight harder. So it's gonna be real interesting.
Yeah. So can't wait for that fight. That's the fight of the year thus far. So this card is going to feature obviously Gervonta Tank Davis as the main event, but Gervonta Tank Davis is going to bring up 130-pound world champion Lamont Roach, and that is not pleasing to many fans. So they have to bolster that card. And it looks like it's going to be a star-studded card as they are planning to put Jamal Charlo on the card, Jamel Charlo on the card, and Brandon Figueroa on the card as well.
Say those
A
names again.
star-studded card as they are planning to put Jamal Charlo on the card,
Ooh,
Jamel Charlo on the card,
ooh,
and Brandon Figueroa on the card as
ooh.
well. And obviously David Benavidez and Tank Davis. So now David Benavidez versus um, David Morrell is huge. Okay, it's absolutely huge. Again, this is a fight that had been talked about for quite some time. This is nothing new, but now we finally got to the point where it's a reality. As David Benavidez, he took to social media and he stated that his next fight will be against David Morrell, should David Morrell accept the fight itself, right? And David Morrell, he responded by saying, "Of course, I'm accepting the fight." Now he said it in Spanish because he doesn't speak English very well. He says, "Of course, I'm going to accept the fight. I accept any fighter that comes my way, especially big fights. Are you ready?" Right? So that was David Morrell's response by saying that, "Of course, I'm going to accept it, but are you ready?" This is huge. Now, again, people going to look at uh, um, the record of David Morrell only having 11 fights, but he comes from the Cuban background, and they stay in the amateurs extremely long, as well as like the Ukrainian fighters, they stay in the amateurs extremely long. So this is a shocker that they putting on this fight because again, it just seems like this wasn't going to happen anytime soon, right? And so now it's going to happen, and I can't wait. Let me know what y'all think about this. Drop.
Man, shout out to Blue Blood. Like you said, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I think this fight gonna be fireworks. It's gonna be a lot of fast punches, fast hard punches being thrown between two big guys, two big punches, exciting with a lot of bravado, and I can't wait, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this. Till next time.